know you guys have been sitting in the sessions and have been working out, and I want this session to be interactive. I want you guys to participate, and if anything, just have fun today. So you can go ahead to the next slide. So to start off, I want to talk to you guys about the differences between female athletes and male athletes. As we're raised, young boys and young girls are fundamentally raised to be different. And so to talk about the art of the female athlete, we must talk about the differences there. So for little boys, when little boys are raised, they're taught to be loud, competitive, aggressive, dominant, strong. They're taught to ignore any feelings and reject things that are seen as weak or female. So as a result, young boys, they do quite well being competitive and aggressive, but they don't do that well with teamwork and being cooperative. So if you ever seen like a little league team of young boys, they might be full of skill, but they can't really play together. You can go ahead. On the other hand, you have females. And naturally, we are taught to be soft-spoken, to be cooperative, to be team-oriented and unselfish. We're taught to keep a low profile and to not bring attention to ourselves. I know that's something my mom used to always say. Don't bring too much unwanted attention to yourself. And that was something that, over time, it transfers into other things aside from sports. It transfers into everything. So the male traits of being competitive and aggressive and selfish and being dominant, they're negatively wired in females. So as a female athlete and somebody who works with young girls, we have to make sure that we encourage young girls and let them know that it's okay to be competitive and to be aggressive, and to make sure that it's okay to stand out. So today we want to talk about being mediocre. That's what my theme is centered around, being mediocre. And I know you guys know that there's a song out right now called No Mediocre. Every time you hear that song, I want y'all to think about the message that I'm trying to give you guys today. So somebody in the front row, can somebody read the definition for mediocre for me?
Of only ordinary or moderate quality, neither good nor bad, barely adequate, not satisfactory, poor, inferior.
Not satisfactory, poor, or inferior. Does anybody in this room consider themselves mediocre? I don't either. Okay, so we can go on to the next slide. So no mediocre. We're going to talk about no mediocre body image, no mediocre expectations and mentalities, no mediocre work ethic, diet, or decision making. So in 1996, I know that's a long time ago, but in 1996, I was in the 6th grade, and the WNBA had just been started. The first season was to be played in 1997, and I was at an athletic banquet for Willow Ridge. My sister was a sophomore at the time, and I was watching their keynote speaker, and she was speaking about how cold she was. I mean, this was the most cocky, confident woman I had ever heard speak. I left that night like, okay, I have to watch this lady who said she's gonna be in the WNBA playing for the Comets. She knew she was the best. So I watched her that summer. The first season of the WNBA, I watched her that whole summer. And she wasn't even good. She was great. That lady that we're talking about is Cynthia Cooper. Now Cynthia Cooper was in that room, and she talked about how great she was, and everybody kind of just looked at this woman. She was 5'10", had a lot of bark behind her bike, but nobody had saw her play yet, or at least I had it. So as an adult, I've gotten older, and I think back on that time. And right now, I'm not ashamed to tell you my age. I'm 29. I'll be 30 in about 2 weeks. This woman was 34 years old when the WNBA started. 34. I know some of y'all parents probably are 34 years old. 34 years old when she started the league, won 4 championships, MVPs, all of that. So I want you guys to know the age is anything but a number, and also mediocrity is nothing but a mindset. So of course you heard that I went to Willow Ridge High School. I finished in 2002, but I'm going to admit something right now. I absolutely wanted to come to Hightower.
There you go, girl, there you go.
It was my first choice, but I couldn't because I didn't have transportation. I didn't have a car, and my mama was not trying to drive me all the way over here. I was on the Willow Ridge. That's where I was going. That Fort Bend Toll Road, it didn't exist. It wasn't a straight shot back here to Hightower. We had to go all the way around 288, Highway 6 to get here. My mom wasn't having it. So I didn't come to Hightower. I went to TSU. I went to Willow Ridge. Y'all heard that? Yeah, I went to TSU as well. So this is my nonprofit organization. It's called Steps to Sweat Family Advancement Inc. And we go out into the community and we teach young kids about healthy living skills, and we try to empower them to be able to take back their health. This is actually the two of my founders that started this organization with me, Jontel and Leslie, and I bring them up. One of them is in the building today. I bring them up because I've been friends with these two ladies since the 3rd grade and the 6th grade. And I bring that up to say that you also want to apply not having mediocrity in all aspects of your life, and you apply that to your friendships as well. I don't accept mediocre friendships in my life because people who are closest to you can either be a fountain or they can be a drain. And I know the people that I want around me are absolutely fountains. They water my life. They bring things into my life. So since it's Thursday, go ahead. So Throwback Thursday picture, that's us, our 8th grade class picture, looking real weak, I understand. But we made sure that we were lined up next to each other so we can get in this picture. And that's like a childhood memory that I never forget. So we use this picture a lot to say, like, this is where we started from. This is 8th grade. It's been over 15 years, and we're still best friends, and we're still working together. So you make sure that you surround yourself with like-minded people, your teammates, that may turn into lifelong friends. If you get an opportunity, you can go on our website, check us out. It's stepstosweat.org. We do summer camps for kids and all those types of things. If you guys want to volunteer with our organization, that's the place to go, stepstosweat.org. And for all you people that go on Instagram, that's our hashtag. Steps, the number 2, and sweat. So if you guys take pictures of anything that you did today, go ahead and hashtag that and Female Athletes Rock. And yeah, check us out. So yeah, this is me on the far left. This is me at Willowridge. This was the NHS meeting that we had. And this was some of the athletes, so we was trying to look hard, and we took this picture, and this picture comes back and haunts me all the time. My friend in the middle posted this of me. And back then, my body image of myself was horrible. Okay, I played sports, yes, but mentally, I felt as if I was always the slowest. I always felt as if I was bigger than my friends. Felt the clothes didn't fit the same. My body image was a little messed up back in the day. So a little part of my motivation for starting Steps to Sweat was that I wanted to make sure that young girls in particular knew that you can use sports as an avenue to, you know, increase your body image, to get yourself out there. Anything that you want to do, it gave me self-confidence. So quickly, I want to go through some female athletes that you guys may hear in the media. Can anybody tell me her name? Gabrielle Douglas. What are some of her accomplishments?
Gold medalist in gymnastics.
Gold medalist in gymnastics. So what do we hear the most about Gabrielle Douglas?
Oh, her hair.
That's what we heard the most about Gabby. We know she won a gold medal, but we don't know what exactly was it. It was the gold medal all around with her team. We don't really know because it was kind of overshadowed by what? Her hair. Body image issues that the media has, or that maybe even our social sites that we follow. Body image issues. This young girl was flying around the whole world, flying in the air, and people of mediocre mindsets were concerned more about her physical appearance instead of her physical abilities. What about Serena Williams? What do we always hear about Serena? I couldn't hear you guys.
She got a big butt.
Her body, and she's constantly objectified. Constantly objectified. Even a simple move like this that somebody else on the court could do, for Serena to do it, she's completely objectified by it. She's also demonized by her body being too masculine and too powerful. So those are also things that the media constantly attacks her about. What's her name? What's her name? Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner played where? At Baylor. She plays in the WNBA right now. Brittany Griner is constantly attacked for what? Her sexuality and what else?
Her voice.
Her voice. Everything about her physical appearance, besides what she's doing on the court, is what she's attacked for. People with mediocre mentalities constantly try to bring her down. And last but not least, has anybody heard about this young lady? This young lady's name is Taylor Townsend. If you get an opportunity, please look her up. She is going to be one of these familiar faces that we will be hearing about. Taylor Townsend she was ranked #1 in the juniors for tennis. And she made it to Australian Open, and then the UTSA told her that she was too fat to play. You can. She was deemed too fat to play. A teen tennis phenom. She's 18, and she was deemed too fat to play, so she couldn't play. So she had to use her own money and pay her own way into this tournament when she was ranked #1 and she had beat out everybody that she needed to. So these are just examples of when people let body image take over or be the forefront instead of your physical abilities.
So, did she win?
She didn't. She lost, but she didn't get an opportunity to play in the wild card tournament because she was actually somebody who paid their way in. So it did make her miss out on the opportunity. Ladies, look at this picture here. Do you guys see anything wrong or out of place or the matter with this picture?
Yeah, they do. They got no clothes on?
No.
No, be honest.
No.
Anybody? I heard somebody say they have what out?
Ain't nobody else.
Is it like your clothes?
So we have issue with the uniforms that anybody has on? Or is this something that we constantly see that these types of athletes play in? Do we normally see United States track athletes running in these types of uniforms?
Yes.
It's the norm, right? What about the beach volleyball?
Yes.
This here is the USA playing Australia. Did you guys know that in other countries that the basketball teams play in the full body suits like that?
Boy,
We can't see.
This one here, she's in a full body suit playing against the USA women.
she got on pants?
It's a full body suit.
It stops here at her
It's a
legs.
one?
You also have Serena. Anybody know the lady down at the end? She just won best female athlete last night at the ESPYs. Ronda Rousey, exactly. So all these women compete in these types of uniforms. And I also play for a team where we compete in this type of uniform. They're called the Houston Inferno. Has anybody heard of Houston Inferno here? Okay, a couple of people have heard of Houston Inferno. This is our second season. I was team captain last year, and this is our second season. We're returning. We have teams in Miami. We have a new team that's coming in New York. We have a team in Chicago, and we also had a team in Vegas. So it's a national league, and we play in this type of uniform. Do you guys see anything wrong with this uniform now?
No.
A lot of people that want to support but don't, or possibly feel like it may be something that may be maybe tipping the lines. A lot of people say that they're not used to seeing this uniform on the basketball court. But in actuality, it's something that we're used to seeing female athletes in, but it's just that it's on the court that it's an issue. Go ahead and click to the next slide. This is actually my team, Houston Inferno, and we are working with female athletes rock on this picture. We volunteered at the food bank. Yes, that's Jasmine in the picture. And we do a lot of things in the community. Houston Inferno also is working with my nonprofit Steps to Sweat. So it is something positive to be a part of. So real quick, I'm trying to go through this real quick because I know you guys have been sitting here. But I want to establish a no curve zone. Anybody know what a curve is? What's a curve? What's a curve? Besides this curve. Besides this curve, what's a curve?
An obstacle?
Huh? Something like that, an obstacle. You guys, a curve is something like, if somebody asks you to do something, you say, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna try. I probably might. You have no intention on doing it, and you know it. It's called a curve. So we're gonna establish a no curve zone when you step on the court or any type of sport you're doing, if that's the field, the track, whatever. You establish a no curve zone. Curves are nothing but excuses, and excuses lead to mediocrity. So let's do a little experiment real quick. I want everybody in the room to go ahead and try to stand up for me. Who said that? You cannot try to stand up. Now try to stand. Try to clap your hands. Are you clapping your hands or are you trying to clap your hands? You're clapping your hands. So this young lady here has been the whole time. You can't stand, you can't try. You can't try to do anything. There's no such thing as try. When you say I'm gonna try, that's a curve. If somebody says, have you been drinking your water? I've been trying. I haven't been. You're doing or you don't, but do not try. Whether you think you can or you can't, you are absolutely right. So when I say this, this is about making sure that you know that you have an inner voice that is constantly talking to you. And you have to make sure that you're listening to your inner voice and determine whether it's positive or negative, and you shut down those negative thoughts, those negative voices in your head. So be careful how you're talking to yourself, because guess who's listening? Yourself. And when I say that, I'm talking about affirmations. Affirmations, anybody know what an affirmation is? An affirmation is a positive statement that you can say to yourself, say it in the mornings or at night, or you can jot it down. It's just different positive statements that you can say to basically set your day off for greatness. I had some affirmations here, but so an affirmation that I can say is, I wake up today fully ready and capable to handle what's coming at me. Anything, you can make it up, you can create it, but something that's positive that sets your stage for the day. What's the next one? So everything you want is right outside of your comfort zone. It's not making me very comfortable to stand up here and speak to you guys, but it's something that I know I want to do for the future, for things that I have planned in my future. I know I had to step out of my comfort zone and do things that I don't necessarily feel comfortable doing. So getting up here today was one of those things. You have to make sure that you push yourself in all aspects of what you're doing, because nobody else is going to do it for you. Maybe you have people pushing you now in high school, but when you get off to college, it's going to be completely different. You may have some teammates that may push you, but everybody should have their own interests at heart. So you have to push yourself to be the best that you can be. If you change nothing, nothing will change. And one thing that I have been doing with some of my friends is we do challenges. I challenge some of my friends to do a 100-day challenge, the 100 Days Happy Challenge. Have y'all seen that on Instagram? 100 happy days. All you do is take a picture of something that makes you happy every day. And a lot of people, they said 76% of people didn't finish the challenge. The 76% of people who started never finished, and they cited the reason that they didn't have enough time to finish it. And so they're really saying that they didn't have enough time to be happy. So make sure that you take out time to challenge yourself and do those things that make you happy. And some of those challenges, I want you guys to look at. Definitely look at this list. Decide to take one today. Do it for 30 days. Can I get somebody that's gonna tell me which one they're gonna try?
I'm a digital.
Which one? Exactly. You're gonna do that all at the same time, or you're gonna do 30 days for one? All at the same time, so we're gonna talk about it.
Listen to a new music artist every day.
Listen to new music artists every day, different genres. Listen to some rap, listen to some rock, listen to some pop, different genres.
Acts of kindness challenge.
Say that again?
Sure. Acts of kindness challenge.
The Acts of Kindness Challenge. I love that. That's a really one that shows you have a good heart. So different things that you can do like this to challenge yourself. One thing that I did was the water challenge, trying to drink a gallon of water a day. Even though I haven't got through with my gallon, I'm challenging myself. I'm drinking way more water than I ever have, right? Okay, so if you change nothing, nothing will change. So the question is, and can you? It's will you? Will you do it? Real quick, let's go into having success in school and sports. Like I said, I went to TSU, and when I got to TSU, I had a big shock. And I'm going to say a culture shock, because I went to Willowridge, but when I got to TSU, it was completely different. I thought I knew my people, but it was completely different when I got to school, because there were my people from Chicago, there were my people from New York, there were my people from Miami, there were my people from Cali, and everybody has different personalities. So you're going to gravitate to people, and some people that you got to know that you can't have nothing to do with, because y'all are going to be focused on the goal, which is trying to get to school and trying to finish. So this box here shows some things that you basically have to juggle. You have to prioritize when you get to school. So if you had to only choose 3 out of the 4, which ones would you choose?
Social life, excellent athlete, good girl, good girl.
So you would leave out what?
Enough sleep.
Enough sleep?
Well, no, I don't.
No, you have to. Choose
Good
only
grades,
3.
enough sleep, social life.
Good grades, enough sleep, and social life. So you wouldn't want to be an excellent athlete?
I would. If I
Michelle says that you're not gonna be playing sports your whole life. So what's more important to her is to have a social life, good grades, and enough sleep. Does anybody agree with Michelle?
You're cut.
No.
Now see, that's what's right for Michelle. If Michelle knows that further on down the line that she doesn't want to be playing sports, but at the same time, your social life should never be more important than your physical. Because the social life is something you can kind of maintain without having to spend too much time on it. Like maybe I can be social on Instagram and Facebook. I don't have to be social out at every party, every night, right? So it's all about prioritizing, time management, making sure that you have everything that you want prioritized. Me personally, back in the day, I would have said excellent athlete, good grades, and social life. Because I'm team no sleep. I don't need it. I don't need it. But eventually it's going to catch up with you. You have to sleep. Your body is recovering and recuperating as you sleep. And if you don't let your brain rest and your body rest, then you will be no good for the next day. So, like I said, your action expresses your priority. You may say that sleep is more important, but your actions are showing that your social life may be more important. So don't give up what you want the most for what you want now. And that was something that I struggled with when I was in college. I was giving up all the things that I wanted in the future for what I was trying to have, like right there in that moment. So anybody ever seen that infamous Allen Iverson video where he's like, practice? We talking about practice? Y'all might be a little too young for that. But it was a period of time where Allen Iverson was like, y'all are getting on me for not coming to practice or coming to practice late. Practice? Y'all talking about practice? Because in his head, in the games, he did everything and all that he needed to do. Why are y'all on my back about practice? That was my mentality in college. It was very mediocre. So like I said, my work ethic and decision making when I got to TSU was below level. It was mediocre at best. I was what you would call an accidental athlete. I had a lot of skill, like talent, natural, just raw talent. I was just a natural athlete. I could play softball, tennis, volleyball, basketball. I could play all the sports, but I never focused on anything and really, I never just focused in on anything, and I never took it seriously. So I never worked on my skills. When I say I didn't know how to dribble with my left hand, and I had a scholarship, a basketball scholarship, and I couldn't dribble with my left hand. I got to college. Everybody knew I couldn't dribble with my left hand. What did I do? Did I practice my left? I just kept going to my right. Because nobody pushed me to force me to work on my left. So with nobody pushing me and me having a mediocre mentality, I kept going to my right. And then there gets to a point where your talent alone is not going to be enough. Your talent is not going to surpass those people who are putting in the hours in the morning, the hours at night, and putting in all those hard work, and you are sitting at home because you think you're just good enough as you are. Mediocre people are always at their best. So I want to talk to you guys about that moment when I almost got kicked to the curb. Like, seriously, it was the worst time of my life at TSU. We had got a new coach my sophomore year. And mind you, I was a leading scorer, leading rebounder, leading steals. I was leading everything, so I'm good. The new coach loves me. At the end of the season, we had a squad of 18 girls. Our coach told us he's gonna be cleaning house, we're gonna see some new faces. And me being the person that I wasn't having the mentality that I had back then, he wasn't talking to me. I knew it didn't apply to me, right? No way. Every time there was something, it never applied to me. That was my mentality back then. So our coach called us in for these meetings one at a time, and I had the second meeting. He called me in, he told me, he was like, we thought long and hard about it. We thought long and hard about it, and we decided to keep you. But here are the things you need to work on. And I left the meeting like, trying to scare me, right? Had no intentions of letting me go. By the end of that day and the end of the next day, they had let 13 girls go. There were only 5 of us left. Me and 4 other girls. And it was one of the worst times of my life because I saw some of my best friends packing up their stuff and going back home. Going back home to Palestine, going back home to Buffalo, going back home to Baton Rouge, going back home to Missouri City. And I was almost in that pool, and when I tell you that would have been the most embarrassing time of my life to know that I got fired. Like, that's fired. You lose your money, you lose your home, where you're living, that's fired. I was gonna have to leave. So I saw this happen to all my friends. I saw this happen to girls that I knew were working harder than me. I knew they were working harder than me in the gym, in the weight room, all that. And so I had the aha moment, and so they call it. That's when I realized I need to get my stuff together. I had an aha moment, that moment where the light bulb clicks, right? And I realized that I couldn't have this $1 million dream with this mediocre work ethic that I had. Is there any way that you can find somebody that's successful in living their dreams and making the money that they're trying to make, but their work ethic is mediocre? It doesn't translate like that. That's not how that works. There's no secret ingredient. All you have to do is work hard, you train hard, and you smile wide. And when I say smile wide, I mean have a good attitude, stay positive. Don't complain. People hate complainers. Anybody ever play with somebody that complains all the time? You hate it. It throws you off and everything, so don't be that person. So I want to talk about, to kind of wrap it up, what keeps female athletes from making it to the next level? What are some of the reasons that you think keep us from making it to the next level? Whether it's making it from high school to college, attitudes, what else? Self-esteem, confidence, what else? Those are some of the reasons that I saw. I also saw some primetime athletes when I'm talking about high school. They didn't go play college because they were strung out on drugs, or they were having babies, or they were just having detrimental behavior for themselves. So I saw that happen as well, but when I got to college, it was a different story. I saw females who basically dropped off the team because of their grades. I saw females who got overwhelmed with the demands of college life. I saw people who became too popular to really even care about the sport that they had came there for. So with all that being said, 6 freshmen that I came in with, I was the last woman standing. After 4 years, there was nobody else that came in with me that finished. Nobody had graduated. I was the only one to graduate. Well, I had another teammate that graduated, but it was a little bit after because she had injuries. But I was the last woman standing. And eventually, and then there were none. I too became a statistic. And I know that's real dramatic. My friend told me that was real dramatic to take that out, but I left it in because what happened to me was that after my senior year, that's my senior picture, I had finished playing basketball. That was my last game on my home court. And 2 months later, from this picture, I found out I was pregnant. I had made some mediocre decisions, and I was pregnant. Now, 2.5 months after that picture, I got a phone call from my coach saying that the New York Liberty, the WNBA's New York Liberty had called for me to come play, to finish out the season. They wanted me to sign a contract, come finish out the season, but guess who couldn't play? I couldn't play. I was pregnant, and I had to deal with my decisions. So I say that to let you ladies know that distractions are real. Because her dad, my daughter's dad, he played on the basketball team too. And guess what? He still went off and played overseas, and he's leaving for Colombia in another week. He's still living his dreams, but everything in my life had to change. As a female athlete, this is something, it's a reality that you have to deal with. So you have to make sure that you make the proper decisions. And with that being said, what are your goals? I think I was distracted and I didn't realize or focus on what my goals were at that time. You have to know, what are your goals? And with that being said, keep calm and do work. Don't get distracted. Don't be a statistic. Just keep calm and do the work. And I just love this little, I don't know what you call these little quotes here. She turned her can'ts into cans and her dreams into plans. A good friend of mine told me that a dream without a, say that, Jontel, where you at? What is it?
A dream without a plan is just a wish.
A dream without a plan is just a wish. Do y'all get that? A dream without a plan It's just a wish. Make sure you guys understand that concept there. Because a lot of people say that they have a lot of big dreams and plans, but they haven't planned it out. They're curving themselves with the, I'm gonna try, but they haven't really planned it out. So with that being said, success is all about overcoming mediocrity. If you can overcome mediocrity in your personal life and in your athletic life, then you can go really far. And I did want to leave you guys with a video, but the audio is not working, so I'm going to be real inventive. If you guys have your cell phones, could y'all pull them out? Everybody doesn't need to pull it out because you can look over somebody's shoulder. I want you guys, if you can, to pull up this video on YouTube. It's called Like a Girl. It's called Like a Girl.
Oh, I saw that. I think it's an ad.
Like a girl. Always. You can put always like a girl.
Show me what it looks like to fight like a girl.
Let me know when you pull it up. You know, I know it's an always commercial. Just listen to the message. And when I watch that, you know, me having a little girl, I know the importance of me having to instill in her those values, for her to know that it's important and it's okay for her to be strong and aggressive and confident. And she's, y'all gonna hear about my baby. She's gonna be the next basketball star, I promise. But that's because she has a good role model and she follows and the people around her footsteps. So you wanna make sure that you surround yourself with positivity in everything that you do. Well, thank you guys for having me.